Hey guys, Pastor Kyle here with
Kyra. Hi guys.
And we just wanted to hang out again and have another cup of coffee.
Coffee's always good.
Coffee is always good. I think that's what the Bible means when it says river of life.
Yes.
Yes, it's referring
Tim
to...
Hortons.
Well, maybe not just Tim Hortons. I'm
Maybe.
a little bit sad. I'm a little bit sad that Lively does not have like a really nice coffee shop.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's okay.
Okay, good.
It's all right.
We have Timmy's for now.
We have Timmy's for now, yes. So we've just been having this conversation and we're in the middle of a series called The Good Place. And I mean, if you're watching this video, you're probably aware of that we're talking about what happens after we die in heaven and having what I think has been a great conversation. And we've had so many new people come on out and so many of them have come out who don't attend another church and maybe haven't attended a church at all or for a very long time at the least, right? And so, you know, I know that for those individuals, for many of them, it's maybe a little bit challenging for them to come in the first place because there are these like barriers that you have to coming, right? That you're thinking about ahead of time, right? That stop you from coming into the doors, right? So what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely reasons and things people would come up with. Awareness would be
Yes.
One of them.
So I think we're going to talk about 3 today.
Okay.
Right. So top 3 reasons that people who don't go to church don't go to church.
Right.
Right. And so number 1, but not number 1, like number 0, it's off the list.
Right.
Right. It's off the list. Like so. Because if you're watching this video, clearly you're aware of The Good Place. You're aware of Cornerstone, right?
Right.
But like, so I used to own a martial arts school.
Right.
Yes, and I found that the number 1 issue that prevented people from signing up had nothing to do with what was going on at the school itself.
Right.
It had everything to do with whether or not people knew that it existed.
Right.
Right? And so often I get these emails from parents saying like, man, I had no idea this was here. This is amazing, right? Every once in a while, I would have concerns brought to me about like, you know, what was being taught at the school or like, am I going to teach their kids, like, am I teaching kids how to fight, right? Are we creating bullies, right? Like, are they going to look like MMA fighters at the end, right? Like,
oh my goodness.
you know, and so every once in a while, those reasons would pop up, but they would never pop up unless somebody knew about it in the first place, right?
Exactly.
And so like number 1, but like number 0, because it's even before our list, would be awareness,
right?
Absolutely, yeah. But we will have like when it comes to those of us who are aware, right, that Cornerstone is here, or the church and wherever you go or live in the whatever area of the world you live in, once you have that awareness, there are other reasons that crop up. Yeah. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And those are the 3 that we wanted to talk about today. And so the top 3 reasons that people don't want to go to church. Right? So Kyra, tell us number 1. Your number 1.
My number 1
Your number 1
is I didn't think I was good enough. I wasn't that image, you know. I have tattoos. I was afraid of rejection too, I guess. Like she's different. Right. So and nobody made me feel that way. It was just I don't feel like I'm good enough. Am I good enough to go to church? Yeah. Right.
So where did that idea come from?
You know what? It was a fear I had. Am I good enough? I'm not like those people. But I didn't even know. I wasn't educated. I didn't understand.
Because I feel like, I mean, I'm glad that nobody ever like made you feel that way. Yeah. But I feel like for some people, they might have that thought or that fear because somebody did make them feel that way.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You know, that experience could have been very real for someone.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, me, I did it myself in my head. You know?
Right.
Just, you know, those are such good people, and I don't think I'm good enough.
Okay.
I'm different.
Right. Yeah. So you imagined. What people were like, and that you had to be like them to be involved.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. So I think that that's like pretty common, right? Like this
I would
sense
think
of
so,
like,
yeah.
are people like me?
Yeah.
Are there people there that look like me,
Yeah.
right? Like, am I gonna be able to belong? Am I gonna fit in? Am I just gonna be really weird because I've got issues?
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is it like, am I gonna show up and everybody's wearing a white robe?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
chanting, right?
Yes.
You know, is that what's going to happen? So tell us about your experience of kind of getting over that, because you're here now.
Yeah, I'm
right?
here now, and I'm so glad I am.
Right.
I couldn't be more happier. I just, I always felt Jesus was there, and that was I wanted to grow more, and through thoughts and talking, I knew that was such a silly excuse and a silly reason for me not to attend.
Sure.
I would put my children in the kids camps because
Right.
I knew it was good. I knew what was being taught was good, and I want them to have.
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel down the line that they're not good enough.
Right.
Because they are.
Right.
They are who they are. And it was through that I
Right.
just kind of went, you know what? And coming and seeing everybody here, it's very, very welcoming, very
Sure.
real. Everyone's themselves, and
Right.
yeah. It's great.
So we can't vouch for like other communities.
No,
right? Like
yeah.
in other churches.
That's
we can
right.
only speak from our own experience here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but some people have that thought because it really has happened to them.
That's right.
And I hope that it's not here. I
Yeah.
don't think so, right?
Mhm.
But if that's happened somewhere else, can you tell me, like as somebody who is a part of our church,
Right.
how you would respond if somebody was here, like somebody came through the doors for the first time, that maybe had those thoughts. And of course, you don't know that they're thinking
That's
them,
right.
right?
Yeah.
But they think that, like, if you're having those thoughts, you think that you're like sticking out like a sore thumb,
Right.
right? Like,
Yeah.
so as somebody that is here and is pretty like committed and plugged in, do you have those thoughts? Like about other people coming in?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I'm kind of sensitive to that
Yeah?
actually.
Yeah.
I noticed at the barbecue the other night, there's lots of new faces, and
Okay.
I tried to just connect with some people with a smile
Sure.
and was just there,
Right.
willing to
Right.
talk. And that's actually kind of what I got once I started bringing the kids
Right.
to camp, and
Right.
yeah, it
so,
helps.
So I guess my question is though that like, would you respond in the way, or do you think anyone else in this community
Yeah.
would respond in the way that you expected them to respond to you when you thought you weren't good enough? Does that make sense?
Yeah, kinda.
Right? Like if I think I'm not good enough to be there, part of that voice is like, they're gonna kick you out.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That you're not allowed to be there because you're not good enough. You're not
Right.
gonna fit in, right? Like, do you walk into the place and have people say, confirm your fear? Do they say,
Yeah.
you don't belong here?
Yeah, absolutely
I see you've got a
not.
tattoo.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
you can walk
You
out,
can
right?
leave,
Is
yeah.
that the experience that you have?
Yeah, no.
No.
not one bit.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so I think it's fair to say that, what I value more than almost anything else is just authenticity.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
That
yeah.
like, I would much rather have a room filled with people who have issues,
Yeah,
right? And
sure.
are just honest about that than that just bottling them up inside and not,
Right.
and not sharing and having the appearance of perfection, right? Because nobody's perfect. Nobody actually has
No.
it all together. So people look like they do,
Yeah.
right? But it's
Yeah.
but it's usually a mask, right?
That's right.
Even Jesus said to, Jesus, he was, the most upset that I think Jesus ever got was when he was dealing with religious people.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, so
and
true.
he called the Pharisees, this like the most religious sect of Judaism and the leaders, right? He said that they were whitewashed tombs.
That's right.
And he meant that they looked really good on the outside, but on the inside they
It
were
was
dead.
dead, yeah.
Right? And so I think we value and we try to build this culture here where we just, we don't have to put on any masks.
No, there's
right?
no masks.
We're real
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
with real problems, and the thing that brings us together is that we all have questions, right? And we want to have a healthy place to have a conversation,
Yeah.
no matter where you're at in that questioning period, right? And that we recognize that, we need a savior,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Or we at least want to explore that idea,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So number one, we don't feel like we're good enough.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
Number two, Number two.
What did we say?
The church just
the church
my
just
money.
wants my money.
Yeah.
That
it's all a racket.
I think that's a big one for people.
Okay.
I do, because they don't understand, right? They don't, we're blessed to have lots of generous givers in our church family, but it's so cool that I think the thing that we have set up right now, that if you're a guest and you come in, we want to give to you. Like, that's so cool. So,
so what Kyra is talking about is that if you come as a guest, we actually don't want your money.
No.
All right. So, and we'll say that out loud. If you're our guest, we don't want your money. And instead, we want to give a gift. And I know sometimes churches do this, and sometimes it can kind of be that like thing that ends up in your junk drawer.
That's right.
And I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus. I'm just saying that like I've had that experience, right?
Yeah.
And it does that. But we just really value generosity, right? And so to celebrate somebody coming and joining with us for a first-time experience, we make a donation to a charity of their choice, right? On their behalf.
On their behalf,
right?
Coming.
And so,
that's so cool.
So that's what Kyra is referring to there. But I think it's so common that people have this idea that the reason you want me to go there is because you want in my wallet.
What do you want from me? Yeah.
You want my wallet.
Right.
Yeah. And I hope, it's one of those things that it's hard for people to feel until they are part of that community.
Yeah.
But I hope I can assure you that that's not the case, right? Like you could come to Cornerstone and be a part of the community for forever and not be a giver, and I wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Right? Like I purposely, I could ask, but I don't. I purposely don't know who gives and who gives what.
Right.
Because I don't want there to ever be an opportunity for there to be like a human moment where I treat somebody differently because they give a lot of money.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, of course, like we are a charity and we still have hydro bills, and have to take care of all of those sorts of things that any sort of business has to run, right? Any sort of organization. But we're not here to make money.
No.
And we're not here to get your money. So just want to encourage you that if that's something that's holding you back from plugging in, that's not where we're at.
No,
right?
absolutely not.
And if you give or you never give, I will never know.
Right.
Unless you come up and tell me.
Right.
Right? If you came up and told me, then
you
would know, right?
But
that's it, right? I guess I could be lying.
Yeah.
And I would still
true.
not know. I don't know. Yeah. All right. So number one was I'm not good enough.
Not good enough.
Number two, second reason that people might not want to go to church, this idea that the church just wants my money.
Money. Yep.
Number three.
What did we write down here? I don't want to be
lectured.
Right, lectured, sorry.
Yes.
You don't want to be told, told somebody standing up there and telling you what's right and what's wrong. I think that would definitely keep people away.
Sure.
But it's not like that here.
You know where that comes from?
Where?
Real experience.
True.
Right?
Yep, very true.
Yeah, I think that people don't arrive at that idea because they're making it up in their heads.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that people arrive at that idea because they've put themselves out there and they've experienced that.
Right.
Right? Like that does happen places.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Yeah. I remember growing up and being a part of a church community that's not this church community, right? And it would kind of fall outside of the family of this church community. But I can remember having those experiences and really just sitting under somebody who just felt like they were, like pretty judgmental.
Right, yeah.
And feeling kind of shamed, right?
Yeah, my younger years too, attending different places.
Right.
It's kind of ringing a bell now that I'm thinking more about it, but definitely it's come from experience.
Sure.
Yeah.
And our desire is not for that to happen, right? Like
exactly.
we don't want that to happen. In fact, we feel like, or I feel like, conversations are a lot healthier than monologues.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And there is this kind of real life intention that we wrestle with of like, our gatherings are 60 to 75 minutes, and we're committed to that, right? Like if we tell you you're going to be able to get your kids to their next activity by a certain time, we are going to honor that, right? Like that's not going to, we're going to make sure that that's the case, right?
Yeah.
And so that's really important that we honor that. But there's also this reality of like, man, I had somebody ask me 2 weeks ago, is there ever a question and answer period? I thought, what an amazing idea.
Exactly.
And then I'm thinking, how do we do that with our kids ministry workers dealing with my 4-year-old, and like I cannot leave them past that 75-minute window that I've promised that we are going to be getting those kids, right?
Yeah.
And so, I'm not saying that we've always done an amazing job of this, right? But what I am saying is that we do everything that we can to make it a conversation and not just a monologue.
That's right.
And telling, right? And so one of the things that we're beginning in the next little while, actually this summer, as we kind of wrap up our series, what you can do is if you have any questions whatsoever, you just submit them on our website. Right? And you can leave your information or you can not leave information. It doesn't matter, right? cornerstonelively.com/thegoodplace. And any question that you have, you just fill out the form. You don't have to leave your name or your email. Just put the question in. And then our last Sunday in the series is going to be Wrap Up Sunday.
That's so cool.
All we're going to do, I mean, we'll still have a barbecue, we'll still have music, we'll still have a talk, but the talk is going to be entirely centered around the questions that people have, right? So I have a friend who told me that one of the reasons he doesn't like the idea of going to church is because he doesn't like the format.
Right.
He doesn't like the idea of coming and sitting and, like being told, and if he has some sort of idea or question or disagreement that putting his hand up
isn't an option.
Right? That it's just like, if you come here, you agree with everything.
Right.
That's
right.
And I don't think that that's the case, right? And
and
so this is kind of our way of kind of walking through that. Right?
I think that's great. I think that's a great opportunity for people to grow into this family of here at Cornerstone if they want, or even people who are still here. Like I had a question and I came to you a couple weeks back, right?
And it helped a lot of people. Right.
So if we all ask questions, how many more people are we going to help?
So much healthier,
right? So much healthier.
To share that, because if you have a question, you're probably not the only person that has that question.
Absolutely.
Right? So you're helping people by saying it out loud. And at the same time, we're not promising to have all the answers.
That's right.
Right? I'm human too. Everybody that's here is human. We're all imperfect, right? We're perfectly imperfect. And but we do want to be open to having those conversations. And so if you have a question, or if anybody that's watching this video, whether they're a part of our church or not, has a question, right? You can just submit it and we're going to talk about it.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not claiming to have the answer, but willing to have a conversation. Right? And in that same friend who said that they really don't like the idea of church because of that format, right? Well, he saw a promo for the Alpha video. For the Alpha course, right? Which if you don't know, maybe we'll link to it in the comment section below or the show notes below, and you can just watch the little video. But it's like this, we gather around people's dinner tables, have a meal together.
Food's always included.
Food is included. Watch a video, and it's like some will be at the church, some will be in people's homes, right? And we'll watch a video together about these big topics that people have questions about, right? Like life and death and the Bible, and can we trust it, and what's the deal with prayer, and is healing a real thing, right? Like, and all of these different questions, right? And we just have a conversation, right? And nobody at the table is going to say, let me tell you why I'm right and you're wrong.
That's right.
Like, that's not...
It's not an argument.
No, it's not an argument, but it has that, like, we can have that back and forth in a conversation. We can say, what are your thoughts? Right. Here's what I think. What do you think?
What do you think?
What's your experience with this, right? And so, and I think we're all going to learn from that.
Yeah, right? I do too. I think that's a great thing to go through.
Yeah. So top 3 reasons that you or your friends might not want to come to church. Number 1.
Not good enough.
Not good enough. Number 2.
They just want my money.
They just want my money. And number 3,
don't want to be lectured at. Don't want to be told that I'm wrong.
Right. Yeah. So we hear you, and those are all real concerns, right?
Yeah,
but just wanted to fill you in on a little bit of like what life is like here, and encourage you that if you have any questions, to submit them.
Absolutely.
And we promise to have the conversation.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, awesome, cool. Anything to add?
Nothing to add.
Okay, cornerstonelively.com.
That's the place.
You're gonna go to the landing page, the main page there. Click on the good place, and you're gonna see that form that you can fill out with a question. It could be about anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It could be about anything, and we'll take some time.
Do you think maybe we could have some like a box here with paper for some people who maybe aren't familiar with internet kind of thing?
What's paper?
I know.
Right? Yes, I know. Yeah, we could definitely have a question box here, for sure.
That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I think most people are interacting with us online.
Which is great.
Which is amazing, right? Mm-hmm. And so you can do it from your phone while you're here. Right? You go on to cornerstonelively.com, you go on your computer on our website. We have a next step station here too, so that if you don't have a phone but you want to put in a question, you can just go fill it out here. But yeah, we'll add real life paper.
Yeah, I think that way. Hey, you never know.
Real life paper. Cool. All right, guys. Well, make sure you let us know what you think about this video, and any questions you have, send us a message, throw them in the comment section below. If this stuff is helpful, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
So let us know, and let us know what you want to hear and what you want to talk about.
Cool.
Awesome.
Have a great day, guys.
Peace out.